hello, Christian, and congrats on Section 8. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I was wrong, but this is your 15th film, right?
Probably something like that.
And I've spoken to you every film.
I know, every step of the way.
I can say I know you when.
Every step of the way. That's why it's so exciting to do these.
Oh, so when you first saw the script written by Chad Law and Josh Ridgway, what made you want to say, I can direct this?
I think that this was, obviously it's the action genre. We've seen this kind of bang, bang, shoot 'em up a lot. And it's a kind of, Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne style feel. But I think for me, what set it apart was the kind of everyman vibe of it, like a very John McClane Die Hard thing, where it was just like a Ryan Kwanten's character, just a regular vet. He wasn't some super soldier. He wasn't some black ops guy. He was just a guy trying to, feed his family, a veteran, just a regular job, and he gets thrown into this crazy thing. So I felt that the grounding element of just a regular guy with a family set it apart. And that's kind of what I always try to dig in on this one for sure.
Yeah, you know what? And I was paying attention to Ryan Kwanten's acting, actually. His nuance. I mean, there's a lot of little things that it's not on the script I knew, but I felt, but he gave it, right?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
So until, the film takes us to Afghanistan and back to Riverside, California. But where was it shot? Were the Riverside scenes shot in the Valley?
No, the Riverside scene, which is just the garage, the car garage, auto mechanics place, Mickey Rourke's joint, was shot in Los Angeles. So it was about 20-30% of this movie shot in Los Angeles, like the war scenes and things like that, or shot, in the American Sniper stage and things like that. But the rest was here. I mean, obviously Fantasy Springs, the casino stuff, downtown Coachella was doubling for definitely Ryan's home, wherever that was, Riverside. His home was in Indio and that neighborhood. Gosh, a ton of places. The Mexico part was doubled for it as well.
Yeah, it's always, what it's probably easier to shoot where you live, right?
Well,
but we love that you guys shot here. I mean, always shoot here in Coachella Valley. Why is it very important to you?
It's home. I think there's a lot of reasons why. One, because it's my backyard. And it's people like yourself and every other community member that has known me from the beginning, that it's so supportive to be able to bring these movies back. And then obviously we're bringing back bigger and bigger talent every time, right? And it's become this whole thing where it's like, oh my God, this person was shooting here, this person was shooting there. And so the community support is bar none, no matter where I go. I mean, like I was just in Alabama shooting and, in Jersey and things like that. Nothing is like home because it's literally, your backyard. And I mean that in the best way, with your backyard with all your friends and community members and, that everybody that's supported along the way. So it's an easy call to make, and it makes shooting so much simpler.
Right. And plus, you know what? The Valley is beautiful.
Oh yeah, that for sure there. I mean, the geography is so dynamic. I mean, you can go from, I always said, you can go from the classic Palm Springs look of the, whatchamacallit, the Olivia Wilde's new movie, right?
Exactly. Don't worry about it. I was just going to say that.
Right. Yeah. You have that, which is, I always go, people say Palm Springs, they think that immediately, right? It's mid-century modern, palm trees, pools, and that. But I always go, because I'm born and raised here, I've known the entire Coachella Valley. I'm born and raised in Palm Springs. I went to Palm Springs High, all that stuff. But there's Cathedral City, there's Palm Desert, Indio, Coachella, Thermal, Salton Sea, and there's just, you have a Salton Sea, and you have an agricultural look, and then you have just regular looks that look like anywhere America.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's pretty dynamic, and I've always pushed as the Coachella Valley is probably one of the most dynamic places to shoot, in my opinion.
Oh, now this Section 8 has a star-studded cast, right? From Ryan Kwanten to Mickey Rourke, from Dermot Mulroney to Dolph Lundgren. I mean, how do you direct these actors? I mean, do you let them improvise, paint the picture?
Yeah, I think, look, they're all there because they've read the script and they go, well, we could do something like this. People like Mickey is always gonna bring something very specific and dynamic to it. And I thought he was very good in this, and he really brought something totally different. I went, man, this guy went full wrestler on us. It was great. He really was emotional about it, and he understood the connection to Ryan as his father figure. And Dolph was just kind of like the solid rock military mentor figure that was involved in stuff. Dermot is Dermot, man. I love this. I love Dermot a lot. Like we did another one after this that we also shot in the Coachella Valley right after I did Section 8 with Frank Grillo and Mekhi Phifer that we shot called Lights Out. So Dermot is fantastic. He's like just the thread through that just gives all the information out, and he's just a solid character actor. And then Scott Adkins, the action. Yeah. He's like, Scott Adkins is like the white Jackie Chan. He's like the legend, and he just plays this really great assassin guy that's after Ryan. So I just like every one of these stars had something very specific, and their characters where they weren't muddled. Everything was like, this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here, and I can understand where everybody's playing here. And I think in these movies it's pretty important, so everybody's pretty defined.
So Section 8 is being released this Friday. Is it being released both in theaters and online, or just theaters?
Both. So it's in select theaters across the country. It's an AMC Plus original. So if you have AMC Plus, it'll be streaming on there now. And then I'm sure it'll be available digital everywhere.
Oh, no. What do you hope for viewers to get after watching the film? Besides being entertained, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Manny, you've been here since the beginning. It's always been kind of, as the 80s kid, the popcorn flick kid, it's always just like, if you had a good time watching this indie Mission Impossible, this kind of revenge it's almost like a Death Wish, Mission Impossible style flick. That's it. I think if you're able to do that, I've done my job. So for sure.
But looking back though, Christian, looking back at your career, since I first saw you for Shoot the Hero, I think.
Yeah, that's the one that kicked everything back. Yeah.
Looking back, I mean, are you happy with the way your career is progressing? Do you have things that you want to change before? Do you have any regrets? Yeah. Tell us.
Yeah, well, look, I'm absolutely happy where the career is progressing because I'm able to do this as a living, right? And I think that as any artist, that's a very blessed life to live, that you're able to play pretend with your friends and make movies and put your kids through college and pay your mortgage and pay be able to live as a career. That's something very few can say. So I'm really happy and blessed about that. Where I'm going, I really do feel that probably in the last 2-3 years is kind of the real true beginning of where I'm going. And there's a lot of different genres that have projects in, definitely the thriller space. I have definitely like something in the Latinx rom-com space too. And, definitely a bunch of different stuff. Because if you remember, Shoot the Hero was a kind of rom-com action thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different genres that I definitely want to play in. But I definitely do consider myself like a genre filmmaker per se.
And whatever you plan, there will still be shot here in the Valley, right?
Well, we'll try if I can, and if there's a way I can pitch the producers and the executives, we'll try it. So,
well, big congrats on your career again, Christian. I mean,
thanks, Manny.
You're so big now that you don't have time to feed me menudo from your family's
restaurant. Oh my God, New Year's, I'll call you for that. And I'm doing a director's screening at the Mary Pickford on Friday.
Oh, you are?
I am. Because, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be home. I was supposed to be in Alabama, but we got sent home for a week. It's on hold. So I was like, well, if I'm here, I'm going to throw a director's premiere at the Mary Pickford on Friday night.
Oh, good for you. You know what? Why don't you have Tatum email me any of all of those information? I could talk about it on Friday when I launch this interview.
Great.
All right?
All right.
All right, Mr. Christian. Well, thank you. Good luck on everything. Don't be a stranger.
All right, buddy. Take care.